I have another beautiful and wonderful and enlightening case study to bring you guys today. I am so delighted to introduce this person. I have gotten to know her over these months, and I'm just really excited to document your process. It's been such a joy. So, without further ado, can you please tell us who are you and how long have you been doing hair and where are you located and what are your specialties?
Yeah, my name's Amanda and I live in the Sacramento area of California and I have been doing hair for going on 12 years. And just recently, as in the last year, I've become a color specialist. So I no longer do any other services other than that, which has been really great for me and my business as well. And yeah, so that's me so far.
Yeah, I mean, 12 years is a good amount of time in the industry. I mean, for myself, like I remember getting into healing work, it was actually in my 11th year. And
Oh, cool.
so, yeah, yeah. So I was, yeah, I mean, it was around that 11th year that I had learned so much around the craftsmanship of hair and the artistry of hair and the business things and the product knowledge and the teaching things and all of that. And I found myself like longing for something more and something different. So, yeah. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about your own process and also what spoke to you in becoming light.
Yeah. Um, so I became Reiki certified last year. I don't know, the time's gone by so fast, but I
Sure.
became Reiki certified. And then I was like, I would really love to incorporate this into what I do with hair because I too feel like I'm not doing enough within hair. Like I felt like there was more to it outside of the beauty part of it. And so I got Reiki certified, and then it took me a while to make this big change within salons. I had left co-owning a salon. I sold that half. It just wasn't serving me or my family as much as I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was being called to do something else. So um, I left that and then decided to leave that salon after continuing to work there for a couple years. It
Um,
just felt really, really pulled to like leave, even though there was no reason for me to leave necessarily. Like there was no animosity or anything like that. It just felt like I was being really pulled and tugged at to move. And so, coincidentally enough, as soon as I moved, I found you. And I was just like, wow, this is just like the doors opened. The universe is like, hey, you did what you were supposed to. Now here's the next step. And so, as soon as I found your program and had my phone call, I was like, this is totally where I'm supposed to be right now. So I feel really happy for sure that I had came across your program.
that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I was working as a color specialist at the time. I don't know if you knew that, but I was working as a color specialist too when I started going into getting education and getting certified in healing because we spend such a long amount of time with our clients, right? Like
Yeah,
it is a process,
for
like
sure.
especially with the color process. I mean, I watch all of your work. It's so detail oriented, like all of the care and like you started to really grow in your marketing and documenting that. And so I know that your clients travel far and away to come see you, and they're spending like 3, 4, 6 hours sometimes
Yeah,
with you. And
yeah.
that is like a healing in and of itself. So, I mean, that's really incredible. And I'd love to hear like what, because you're Reiki certified already and you came
Mhm.
in, like what about the process did you really like about becoming light or were some like, key moments for you?
So what I really loved was having like a foundation and direction and what is the word I'm looking for? Just like a process to go with it because that's kind of where I was. I was like, I want to do these things, but I don't know how to facilitate it, when to facilitate it, how to offer it, how to talk to people about it. So I really felt like I got all the tools I needed to confidently introduce it to my clients and not make it such like a woo-woo thing on top of it, even though I myself am very much like
Same.
into all of that stuff. Like I know some people are just like, and it's like I never want to not offer it to somebody and give them
Yeah.
that gift. and not freak them out over it. So I love having the different techniques that I can use, which is very like, again, confidence wise, time wise as well. Like I'm
Mhm.
able to easily fit it into my service, and not be like running over time or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I would love for you to share, if you don't mind, what have some of the client results been? Like, how has it been for them on the other side of it?
It's been really good. I was it 2 weeks ago, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do it to every client. Like I'm just gonna just go for it. And the one thing that I've been doing the most is the mind align, because I feel like that's like the least like, woo-woo-y kind of thing to introduce
Mhm.
them. And every single client that I've done it to is just like, oh my gosh, I felt so relaxed. And like I was able to get relaxed like instantly, which was super cool, because I had, even like yesterday, I have a client, she's so high strung. Like it's really hard for her to just chill and even enjoy her appointment,
Totally.
nonetheless, to be able to like
Yeah, she's
get into
probably doing a
her.
lot.
Yeah, for sure. She's a realtor, so she's just kind of all over the place. But she was just like, could you just see my body melting in the chair? Like I just instantly relaxed. I was like, good, you need that. So it's been really good because, if they don't understand what's actually going on, I just tell them, more than anything, you're just going to get an extra relaxation before your scalp massage. And they're like, okay, cool.
That's
Yeah, so
amazing.
it's been awesome.
That's great. And what about, because obviously, you have a family, you have a life outside the salon, like you've made some
Mhm.
really big changes in your different identities, right? Like
Yeah.
over your, years in the industry. So I'd love to know, like, what about like how everything was delivered? Like, did that work for you and your busy lifestyle?
Yeah, it definitely did. I think I felt I definitely wanted to be more involved in the calls and stuff like that, but it was nice that I could always go back and listen to them
Mhm.
and get information, or like leave a note or something if I wanted to, like, you know, have another question answered based on what you guys were talking about. So that was really nice to be able to go back and look and watch if I needed to, if I wasn't able to join.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you launched your brand, like you launched like your site and your logo, and you got all
I
of
just
those
went for
business
it.
frameworks. Like you went for it. It was
I
fun to
did.
watch. I was like, oh, who's this? I love it. So
Yeah.
that sounds like that was like a really important like touch point for you to cover during your 90 days, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was something I already wanted to do. And again, I think everything just aligned like so perfectly that once I started the program, I was like, cool, this was like the information I needed, and like the like maybe validation at the same time that I
Yeah.
needed to confidently like push it through and just be like, this is it. Like, I'm not going to tiptoe around it. I'm just going to do it. And I'm kind of one of those people that I'd rather learn while I'm doing it than like
100%.
overanalyze everything, because I can do that. And then it's like you hold yourself back. So I was like, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a fun result to talk about because I remembered waking up in the morning and then you tagged me like in your marketing, which is really fun. And I love it when people do that. And so I just woke up that morning and I was like, oh, this is exciting. So I'm sure that your clients also received it with that same energy.
Yeah.
Are there other results that you got as a result of your time in becoming light?
Yeah. I think, gosh, I'm such like, so my moon is in Gemini. So my brain is just like all over the place all the time. And so
I'm a
I think,
Gemini.
no, I'm not saying
I know
that.
it's so real.
And my kids are both Gemini, so we're just like, yeah. But I think as far as that goes, like when it comes to like meditating and doing things for myself, it's so hard to like really just ground myself. And
Mhm.
so just having that, is it the chakra balancing or the aura balancing that we do, that you taught us? I do that every morning, and it's like gives me that 5 to 10 minutes of like, to me, meditating, because it's like I'm meditating, but I'm also doing something at the same time.
So,
So it's like I'm
yeah.
not just sitting still. So that's been really great for me, because then I feel like I can start my day balanced and just on a good note. And then as far as my family too, my kids have just totally picked up on it. Like they actually ask me for energy healing before bed sometimes, which is really cute. And especially my son, which boys don't usually like
Oh my God.
go for that stuff. So that was like a really sweet moment for me, for them to like pick up on that and like ask for it. And they totally respond to it. I mean, they like knock out in like 2 minutes. So
Yeah,
that's been
kids are the
cool.
best.
Yeah, they are for sure. So
Yeah.
that's been really, really cool.
And since you're already touching on it, I would love for you to let me know. Um, I always like to make it big picture, right? Because I feel like for so long, we just like doing hair was our whole identity, right? You're just like, I just do the hair, I do the hair, and then that's it, that's it. And I'm sure you can identify that as like, salon ownership, right? So, and then we had this moment of like, there's more than hair. So I like to take a big picture and for you to talk about, are there other aspects of how this has affected your life? Are there other ways that you're going to copy and paste this information?
Yeah, I think just within my family in general,
Yeah.
like my family life, I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
cry.
I cry during these.
Um, I think one of the coolest things is like my parents, especially my mom, how well she's like responded to me taking this path because oh God, I'm so sorry.
No apologies.
Because I think like my kids were here to like heal me. And I feel like, I'm here to heal my mom. I think that she has a hard time like understanding like everything I do. And I think she's been like really like positive about responding to like this program and just I haven't even like really talked to her much about it, but I know that she's watching too.
Yeah.
Um watching me on like social media and just seeing like how much I'm changing from it.
Yeah.
So I think that's been like really cool to witness. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm also pregnant, so this is not helping at all.
Oh, it's so beautiful though. I mean,
Uh,
it's so beautiful. It's really
yeah.
beautiful to see like you're in the middle, right? And then it's like your children and then also your mother and like really having that come full circle.
Yeah.
Like
I think
we
just
we
like
know that
having
our
that.
parents our parents are totally watching us. And
Yeah.
it feels really good when we can live the work from a place of I feel like just it's like anchored, right? Like we're not like trying on the hat of like the healer, we're living it as like messy as it is sometimes, but we're living it.
Yeah.
And when we live it, then the people who are really close to us, they just feel it.
Yeah. Totally. And it just like I think, my mom and I have had our things together and just how much like our relationship has evolved and how much she's just like being open to it and that like I hope that like healing myself can heal her and just like having that generational healing happening, which is
Yeah,
super cool.
that's amazing. I bet you probably didn't even think that
Oh,
that was going to happen during Becoming Light.
no,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Like,
I
wow,
think
that's so cool.
that
Yeah,
was a cool like realization that happened for me.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a healing even in the case study.
Yeah.
It's so good though. So good. Um, do you have any wise advice or anything that you would tell somebody who's witnessing your beautiful story today about what like somebody who's maybe just like you and they're in the hair industry, right? Like, do you have any advice that you'd say to them now?
I think more than anything is like if you're feeling called to do something more, then like don't be afraid of it. I think that when we ignore it, it's just going to keep tugging at us. And like it feels really good to surrender to something that like you really know you're supposed to do. So don't worry about all the price increases or any of the extra like details, because people, once you start living it and doing it and feeling it, like all of that stuff doesn't matter. Like it's just focus on yourself, focus on what you want to do. And yeah, I think like when I say like the price increasing, like that totally is something that like is like, ugh, it's like, but those, it's just like those little details that don't really matter. It's like the bigger picture of like what you're actually like trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the fruits come.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Beautiful. If you are comfortable and open to it, and people want to follow your beautiful brand,
Mhm.
how can they connect with you?
Um, I've actually made everything straightforward now. So I am just Formula Blonde on Instagram.
Okay.
That's also my website and Facebook as well. So
It's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
yeah, thank you. Thanks for holding space for me to lose it.
My pleasure. It's my job as your coach.